What's going on, Gemini? I know I got all cleaned up for you. Welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a phenomenal week so far. I hope you're enjoying your birthday season. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the best, Gemini. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm so excited to see you. And I'm happy your higher self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So Gemini, it is your general energy weekly spread. I think that melody is going to stay. I thought I was going to change it up, but I think it's nature of my problem. And back to you. Because with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Gemini. So what I'm going to do is pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then I'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And then in case if you all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. And also down in the box is some links for some readers that I personally like watching, so definitely check that out too. They're fantastic, very super intuitive. One of them in particular I've been watching here, just started watching her recently. I mean, she's been kind of hitting, so just something to think about there, Gemini. Oh, and look at that. I love the harmony because you got the third card of Taurus here. Is that the harmony? Oh no, this is the symphony card. But this is a card of harmony, synergy, co-create, assembly, organized structure, contribute, team, collaborate, precise, arrangement, order, lead, follow, organization, perform, display, and cohesion. And I like this, Gemini, because this is when you consider one, the sun being in your sign, you being a sign of communication. It's very youthful energy, Gemini. You're so fun, funny, witty, and this is a great energy right now for socializing, for co-creation, for just maybe even just going out, even if we're not like doing something like business-wise. This can be a great time to just get in touch with our community, maybe get in touch with some friends we haven't spoken with in a while, maybe do like let's say if we're spread out around the world, maybe do some give like a Zoom thing, maybe we can have some wine or your choice of recreation, and just really just coming together and having some fun. But speaking of the collaboration, if we are, thinking about maybe forming some kind of organization, I don't know, maybe you want to start a symphony. And you know what, if you're looking for a saxophonist, I'm working on that. But this would be a great thing if you want to form some kind of like a business bond. Your ruler, Mercury, is about to enter your sign on the 11th of June. And that's going to be, I feel like your already intelligent mind is really going to start cranking. And so you may be feeling inspired. And if you've got something like that, Gemini, keep a notebook around, right? Some of these ideas, or if you got, let me be hip, put some stuff in your notes or however that's looking. And just hang on to them, because who knows, while you're out maybe socializing, you're talking with someone, you run an idea by them. Look at that, you're collaborating. So just a little something to think about there. But one more thing with this card, I feel that especially with Mars being in Leo right now, Venus is actually just going to be just entered Leo not too long ago. We're in a very creative time. It's very fun energy right now, and this is something that I feel like is a great energy for if you want to start playing more music or just doing more things that harmonize with you. I feel like any sort of like hobbies or interests, just carving out more moments for that if we've especially if we had like a really busy schedule or something along those lines, Gemini. But let's get some tarot on this and get some more details. Oh, there's your ruler. You see? Thank you, Mercury. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, Gemini, this is beautiful. Okay, so you got the Prince of Wands, the Magus, the Ten of Cups, Nine of Cups, the Three of Wands, the Star, and the Six of Swords. And so let's start off with your ruler here, because again, this is a great energy right now for creation, Gemini. Even if we're not, let's say if we're not even doing something with people, just doing some stuff for you, just getting in the habit of manifesting. Maybe you're a writer, because I mean, Gemini, like I was saying, you're really smart. Maybe you want to create some courses on a topic that you're really intelligent at. Maybe teach people the science behind something, give them like a detailed display, making a YouTube, making an ebook, or just something along those lines. But I feel like, especially Star card popping up here, there's potential here, and it could potentially make you very happy, Gemini, even if it's not something, again, that is not like we're taking off and, maybe getting like a side hustle, which, keep that in mind. But because this is Jupiter in Pisces, so that's abundance. But abundance looks differently for everyone, Gemini, and I feel like that could just feed your soul, and that's enough. Sometimes that can be just fulfilling, and that's what the Three of Wands is really about. Pouring that energy into things that is going to expand your mind, expand your world, get you heated up, get you passionate. This is the Sun in Aries, and so when you think about Aries energy, I mean, you got that heat, that fire, that thing that gets you out of bed. And the Prince of Wands, he's a type. He rules the first two deacons of Leo and the last of Cancers. He's very intuitive as far as when it comes to doing things that he harmonizes with, whether this is creating with others or just honestly, just expressing his own potential, whatever that is. Being in that Nine of Cups energy. Because when you do, that's all you attract is just more happiness, more abundance, more fulfillment. And that's what I feel like this is going to be something that, really be thinking about this, Gemini. We really are in a fun energy right now. And that doesn't mean when this energy is gone, the fun is going to stop. If anything, once you get that stuff started, who knows where this will lead you, because that even gets you in touch with your higher self more, just really get you resonating. And, this could be something too, it might even lead to some travels. Maybe this is something where we might join like a band or something, do some touring. But I also kind of feel with this, just speaking of travel, this could be maybe for some others, maybe if we've been feeling like, if we've been in some sort of like creative block maybe, or maybe if things haven't been feeling out of balance or just out of whack or something along those lines, and we want to just bring a little more structure into our lives. Maybe this could be something too, going on a trip. And I don't feel like it has to be anything super, going out, like going across to a different country, anything along those lines. Mercury deals with like short-term travels. This could be going to your local park, or maybe going on a nature walk, going by the beach, maybe going to your favorite cafe or something along those lines. But just, something more, maybe even just, just getting out, maybe for even just moving the body, being, maybe going out for walks or something along those lines, Gemini. But, there's just, I feel like you really are getting ready to, this birthday season is going to be, it could be a really one where you can, because even if all this stuff in Leo wasn't happening, you are a very imaginative sign too, Gemini, because, Mercury being one of your rulers, he does deal with that more kind of early child care learning. But when you think about children, they absorb information like sponges. And I mean, and you think about how creative they are and their imagination. So just, don't sleep on this, Gemini. There could be some happiness. And just one more thing. I feel that if we've been thinking about starting up these ideas, and maybe if we're feeling kind of nervous about, or maybe we feel like, let's say if you're wanting to start up like maybe an art gallery, and we're worried that people are going to, maybe we're like our first time doing this thing, we're not feeling quite as confident. Gemini, we all got to start somewhere. The Prince of Wands, he can be my card to fake it till you make it. Because I mean, look at him. Like if you see, he's not gripping the reins. You got this tiger that's pulling the thing, which how he's pulling it, not grabbing the reins, we're just, magic. But it's it's brilliant. And look at him. He's doing actually pretty well. But he's figuring it out as he goes. All he's doing is following the passion, and everything else kind of falls into place naturally. The universe just helps you fill in the gaps, so beautiful, Gemini. I like that. All right, that's a little start. That's how you do your birthday season. Let's get some tea and let's get some more on this. Cool. Yeah. All right, Gemini. Look at you. I think some of you might be going on to travel here soon because you got the 7th card of Libras here. Ooh, look at all this Empress energy. Abundant. You got the 7th card of Libras here, which is the biker card. And with this card, this is the card of lone wolf style, impervious, nonconformist, standing up, breaking the rules, brotherhood, enjoy the ride, loves freedom, moving on, outlaw, maverick, swift actions, and need for speed. And so, just to get the travel out of the way, this could be, again, it doesn't have to be anything super crazy. You maybe you're gonna go for a ride. Don't hop on your bike there, Gemini, rev it up. That, or we can maybe I don't know, maybe go for a car ride or something. Maybe even go on like a train somewhere. Really kind of switch things up, Gemini. Maybe if we've been on this path of just kind of doing the same old thing, and it's just been like like we've just kind of gotten in this rut. Let's shake it up, Gemini. Let's see your wild side. Have some fun. It's your birthday season. I tell you what, I celebrate my birthday, but when the month starts, when July starts, oh, it's on. And I feel like for you, Gemini, bring it on. Have some fun. Stand, break the rules within reason, Gemini, but really enjoy this journey, because we got plenty of time to, get back to the obligations of things. But I feel like, live it up a little bit, Gemini. But this could be something too where with the brotherhood, you got symphonies, you got a lot of group energy coming up here, Gemini, with the symphony, the brotherhood. There could be something maybe about like again, I feel like maybe joining, like if you've been thinking about a charity, or if you've been wanting to do, I don't know, maybe like a community thing. Or I was actually just talking with someone about like those get-togethers. It's like, what do they call it, art with a twist. So it's pretty much just like painting and drinking, which is, you get some wine, and that could be a fun old time, Gemini. But just something along those lines of maybe just getting more involved with community and just socializing more, and just, really being out there, and just, because Gemini, you're the communicators of the Zodiac. Spread the good word. Let's get people uplifted. What are some fun adventures that you've been on? Talk about your tales when you were living on the wild side, going on maybe going on a cross-country tour or something like that. But I'd love to hear about it. So, and one more thing, Gemini, we're going to get some tarot. With this nonconformist, we are in a time where, especially now that we got that first real flavor of Pluto in Aquarius, and if you've even paid attention to some of this stuff, like, I don't know if you've seen, like, with, like, the YouTube ads. I saw something where this guy did something with, like, a mosquito thing. I haven't really looked into it that hard. And then another one did something with something else, and it's just like, we're in a time of like innovation and really thinking outside of the box. And again, with how smart you are, this is something where if you think you've got some kind of good idea, don't sleep on that. See where that'll take you. Fake it till you make it, because it's going to be one of those things that we're in need for some freshness. It's that time. I feel like I was just telling someone too, I feel like it's like a lot of rebranding that's going on right now, not a whole lot of just like really outside of the box thinking. So let's think bigger, Gemini. Let's let that mind wander, see where, because with your opposite sign, or of the zodiac wheel, your opposite sign is Sagittarius. And Sagittarius, they think they're about the real big picture. They consider all the options, when they're coming to. And it's not to say that you don't do that, Gemini. You're just, it's like you get like all the details, and gets like, you just, you know what I mean? But it's finding that balance, and realizing that there can be something really big. Don't think that just because you got a broad dream that you can't make it manifest. And that's something too. If you do have something really big, don't be afraid, again, to maybe ask for some help, because you don't have to take on everything by yourself. We're building a soul tribe, especially with, Neptune being in Pisces for another couple of years. Really focus on that strengthening that group. But, whew, feeling chatty today, Gemini. let's get some tarot on this. All right, Gemini, so you got the Seven of Swords here. Another card of, Seven of Swords. Yes, another card of travel. Oh, look at that. Eight of Wands, Prince of Swords, and then we got the Five of Cups here. And so, I do, if we're not doing like physical travel, because you did, because I do remember, you were doing your yearly reading. You had a very intuitive, very spiritual lot of energy that was coming through there. So if this is not something maybe like doing like you could be going on a spiritual retreat possibly. we're not going to take that off the table. But I do feel like that maybe there could be this energy of maybe getting to know yourself a little bit more, really kind of get a deep dive. Because you are represented by the twins, and that duality sometimes can be kind of tricky. I have a Gemini moon, and it can be all over the place. But this could be something where maybe just expanding the idea of who you are, and maybe if we've been kind of limiting our potential, maybe saying that we won't be able to, maybe our dreams are a little too fanciful, or maybe they're just, something along those lines. I feel like just raising that confidence, because I was wondering this, like with all this lovely energy here, I thought that Five of Cups really just kind of came in kind of left field here. And maybe we were disappointed with how maybe an experience went in the past, maybe something that waned that's something that kind of took a jab at our confidence. Really kind of, we've been kind of carrying that weight. Maybe it's become this thing where it's like we're maybe a little too cautious, or something like that. And it's instead of figuring out what that situation was trying to teach you, how to think about how it was trying to expand you with this Mercury being in Sagittarius, maybe this could be where, it's just like maybe it's become like a weight on us or something along those lines. So, if that's something too, if there's something like that, again, with the Prince of Swords, he's the type that's Aquarius energy. First two decans of Aquarius, last of Capricorns. And he is a type that he's another intelligent one, Aquarius there. But a lot of Aquarius energy here. But, oh, okay, I'm going to talk about that in a second. Yeah, 'cause you got a lot of Aquarius energy here too now, I'm thinking about it. But, let's see, where was I at? Oh, getting a broader understanding of who he is. He's going to put in that work to help get him to his future self, But, so the Aquarius thing kind of brought me out here because there's something here, Gemini, about you doing something just like really out of left field, like really tap into your creative side, that innovative side. There's something here like like the gears are really turning, and I'm not, because Aquarius energy deals with the future. That's one aspect that they cover, but they're also something, a sign of networking. And where this is going to be a little in a couple years, but I feel like it's never too early to at least get this stuff in the back of your head. Uranus is going to be entering Gemini in 2025. Actually, the day before my birthday is going to be on the 7th of July. And that's going to be an interesting time for you, Gemini, and I feel honestly very positive about that. I feel that it's going to be something that you're going to have like a sudden burst of inspiration, like the way that depending on where your Gemini placements are at, that's something is going to change, because when Uranus comes into the party, he's bringing innovation, he's bringing revolution, he's bringing the future. So yeah, just a lot to think about, I see. But, and I do, let me get a little bit more on this Eight of Wands, because there's something else in there that might be something that's going to come out. Okay. Yeah, okay. Gemini, something's going to... So the Eight of Wands is clarified by the Princess of Wands, and I love you, girl, and then the Ten of Discs. And let me tell you why I love the Princess of Wands, because she is hella creative too. Look at her style, her hat, her tiger. I think that's the first I've ever complimented her style. So this is a big deal, Gemini. And you know what, that might be a big deal for you, because when I my relationship with the Princess of Wands, and when we first started off, it was just like I talk about her hat, how her tiger was always sleeping. She just really just like, where I love her enthusiasm, she was just always getting it together. But she always showed up and showed out, never gave up. Tenacious, audacious, you know, vivacious, just all those words, and she brings it. And now look what happens, you know, and I feel like that maybe for some of us, like maybe I was talking about that self-esteem thing here, you know, I feel like don't let that bring you down. Let that strengthen you up, because that's going to be, these disappointments here are building that foundation for this future, Gemini. But and I feel like that can be something that can be, you know, really over these next few years, you know, be thinking about where you want to take your journey. Do you feel like you're expressing yourself enough? Do you feel that, because the Ten of Pentacles, where yes, it's like your legacy, what you're leaving behind, but it's like your stability, you know, I'm thinking like it's where, are we feeling both, you know, physically, you know, whether that be your health, your finances, things along those lines, or maybe our living quarters, how are we doing mentally, you know, how's that health looking, and how are we doing spiritually, you know, making sure that we've got all that foundation. But be cooking up something, Gemini. I really feel like you really be thinking, you know, whatever this, because there's happiness and there's abundance here, and there's going to be, I really feel like you can change the game up. And I know that I can sometimes be a little over dramatic, you know, all this Leo energy, but I believe in you, Gemini. I like that. Let's get some more tea, and then let's get this last one. All right, Gemini. Interesting. Okay, so you have the 8th card of Scorpios here, which is the Empty Nest card. And with this card, this is a card of moving on, no one home, cycle completion, emptiness, final, endings, beginnings, the void, vacant, separation, making adjustments, lonely, new life, and graduating. And you know, Gemini, with this, wow, I just got like a, whew, Gemini, that one kind of overcame me a little bit. So maybe some of us, if maybe we're going through some type of cycle completion right now. Maybe maybe we had like because I know we're getting around like graduation season. So maybe we're getting off to where people are kind of moving out of the nest. And maybe this is something where we're trying to figure out what those next steps look like. You know, now that your little ones out there, you know, for those of you kids, you know, maybe now that the little ones are out there, it's just like, well, now they're big ones. It's just like, yeah, what does this new beginning look like? What does this adjustment feel like? Now we have all this, you know, this energy is like, you know, we've been pouring it into this one creation, and now, you know, it's like, how do we redistribute this energy now? What does that look like? So, and you know, Gemini, where those cycle completions can feel a little sad sometimes, you know, can lead you to like you know, because it's like, yeah, you got a void to fill, but it's a matter of perspective, you know, and luckily, again, you're the sign of duality. We could look at it as there's just a void here, or we could look at it as, okay, because it's not, I feel like, that you're replacing it. It's just like we're planting something new. You got, if anything, think of that void of just like that little, just a little love spot that they left. And then now we can just we can take that lovely, look at that lovely foundation there, and plant some new happiness, some new memories, some things. And then when they come back to because they'll always come back, because they might need some of those pentacles. But yeah, when they come back, they'll have something extra to come home to. There'll be a little bit more of your personality back into it. And then they might get to know you a little bit more, Gemini. But, you know, I just feel like in general with this, you know, because maybe we had something where we were disappointed with the past, of maybe like an experience, maybe like a relationship. This could be like a job situation, whatever this is looking like. I feel like it's, if we've been holding on to something for a while, it's just like, how do we move on from that? Maybe we need to take some time alone. Maybe we need to talk with this about someone. But, you know, I just feel like if we're maybe having, for some others, if we're having maybe trouble, you know, completing a cycle, you know, maybe we find, you know, it's been hard making adjustments, whatever that is. I feel like, you know, yeah, either take some time, really process this, you know, because maybe that's been something you've been doing for some. We've been just kind of pouring ourselves into others, maybe kind of fixing their things and not really, you know, focusing on our stuff, because I mean, that's easy, Gemini. I get it. But, you know, we got to make sure that we're focusing on our cup, you know, filling up our cups here, because you do have quite a bit of swords here, got quite a bit of wands, and it's just, you know, a lot of thinking, a lot of doing, but are we feeling, you know? So in Scorpio energy, you know, that's doing, they're going to get down, especially if there's something here, you know, that's preventing them from moving on, they're going to get down to the bottom of it. So, but let's get some tarot on this. All right, Gemini, last little bit here. Oh, interesting. Oh, come on, hands. Okay, so you have the Hanged Man, the Fool, the Ten of Swords, and then the Five of Disc here. And then let's go ahead and switch back over here, Gemini. Because I feel like for some of us, if we've maybe been really, again, especially with these two cards, you know, because these are kind of heavy cards here, especially the Ten of Swords, and this is the Sun in Gemini. And the Ten of Swords is about maybe if we've been in a place where we've been kind of feeling at rock bottom. Maybe we do have some kind of concerns, some worries, you know, that it might be been kind of waning down on our heads. But, you know, with the Ten of Swords, it's just like where, yes, we might be feeling a little stuck in something right now, but if we've noticed that we've been in it for a while, it's just like, why? That's what the Hanged Man is here to ask us. You know, it's just to get us to think, to tap into that duality and to see things from a different perspective. Because we're, yes, you know, we can look at the Ten of Swords as just like something where it's just, because usually on the, well, not usually, but like on other decks, you know, they'll have like a person lying down, there's just a bunch of swords in their back. And it's just like, we could sit there, lie there, and have all those swords in our back. Or we can look at it as just like, all right, how am I going to heal from this? You know, now we're starting to make a mess. You know, and I know that's making kind of a little light of it, Gemini, but it's just like, how do we move on and start new opportunities with the Fool? How do we find that lust for life if we just been feeling kind of stuck? But also with this, you know, because that's a very, I kind of like this combination here with the Hanged Man and the Fool, because the Hanged Man can be represented by Neptune and the Fool by Uranus. And when you think about that, Neptune is very dreamy energy, very fanciful, very just big, you know, just opportunities are just amazing. And then we already talked about Uranus bringing that kind of that, and the fact that you got Uranus and Aquarius here, because Uranus rules Aquarius, and believe it or not, Gemini, Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, your ruler. So there's something here just like about you coming into your higher octave. You know, there's something that's trying to unlock like a level up here. And I feel like it's really tapping into that dreamscape, you know, considering especially if we've been maybe kind of downplaying our gifts or something like that. And, you know, where we may be when we're thinking about these dreams, you know, we might be with the Five of Discs. This is Mercury and Taurus. And we might be thinking about, like, is this really like a secure thing to do? And I'm not saying we need to quit our jobs or anything, Gemini. Don't put, you know, I'm not putting yourself in like a weird security thing. But I feel that sometimes we can when we're thinking about the future, we can paint so many doubts and things, think about all the bad things that could potentially happen. But it's just like, okay, now that we got that out the way, what good stuff are we going to start bringing to this thing as well? So, you know, perspective is going to be the name of the game, I feel like, for you, Gemini, especially, you know, over this week. But let's just forecast for the next couple years, you know, really be thinking about just, you know, and I do say, with that, me even saying that, don't feel like you have to rush that. I'm not saying you have to get this all figured out. It's just having it, just letting that be a thought in orbit. And then when things make sense, when opportunities come up for you, because something too to think about. And I'm going to talk about this on your on the Celestial News Monthly next week. But, you know, Venus and Mars are going to be forming sextiles with your signs over these next, Venus, for a while, because she's going to be hanging out in Leo for at least until October. She's going to go retrograde in about July. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of sextiles forming with you, at least with those two planets. So a lot of opportunities possibly out there for you. So something to think about. But I'm gonna leave that there, Gemini. I like that. That was thanks for the energy. That was a beautiful reading. So, and if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this. You know, if you know someone who's been maybe got some dreams that they're cooking, or maybe they've been dealing with a tough situation. Maybe they had like a tough 10 of swords thing, something along those lines. But yeah, share this. And then, you know, while with all those people that you're communicating, tell your friends about me, because I said you might be doing a lot of socializing here, Gemini, and then have them all subscribe, hit that bell button to get notified on these videos each week. And then I'm on this meditation app, Insight Timer. Maybe something to do, get into some meditative state while you're thinking about your dreams there, Gemini. But I started a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's just a group to post like positive affirmations, encouraging messages, things along those lines. And as the group grows, definitely want to start, what do I want to start doing? What do I want to start doing? Oh, hosting meditations. Jeez, let me meditate on it. Hosting some meditations, and because you could do a bunch of different stuff, and just like as you know, maybe manifesting with the magician, or you know, changing perspectives with the hanged man, something along those lines. But all that information in the description box, Gemini. And then lastly, if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, I'm on over to my other channel, The Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. It's we discuss lunar shenanigans, and it's a good old time, Gemini. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. Okay? So you got the Seven of Discs here. And that's interesting, Gemini, because with this card, the Seven of Discs can be a card of failure. So again, if we've been worrying about if we have an idea and if we're worried about if it's going to fail or something along those lines, I feel that, you know, try not to restrict yourself in that capacity, because I feel like it really is a matter of the mental limitation. And especially you being an air sign, we want to be very mindful of where your thoughts are at, because, you know, especially once Pluto really kind of gets settled into Aquarius, like right around Aquarius season, which is fascinating. But it's going to be the stage is going to be kind of all eyes on Aquarius, but really you and Libra, you know, it's going to be it's a sign of the air signs. You know, we're getting into an era of innovation and really thinking and stuff. So don't doubt this thing for a second. Don't think that you can't do anything like this, Gemini. And this can also be a card of investments. Invest in yourself. What I love your Oracle card here, because you got the Vision in reverse here. What's your dream looking like, Gemini? What do you want to manifest? Let's see it. Let's not keep it a dream anymore. Let's start just like something as simple as just writing it down. That's manifestation at its finest. And then watch that grow. You know, once you start getting those energies out there, the universe starts opening doors for you, presenting different opportunities. And you know, don't be afraid to journey down those trails, Gemini, and see where life takes you. So I love that. I'm gonna leave that there. So you stay safe out there on your travels, all your communication, and raise your vibration through the roof. If we've been, if we're starting anew, we're maybe healing from something, know that, because the 10 of Swords can be, the nice thing is there's no 11 of Swords. It's only uphill from here. We can only start, there's only growth from that. And I will catch you on the next one later.